welcome to the replacements.
It's week 7. I'm Miranda. This is Jackie. And get ready for the best week ever.
It's week 7 of our show, but we're going to recap week 6's weekend because It was a little crazy.
Ridiculously crazy.
Yeah.
So many upsets in games that turned out the way they probably shouldn't have.
In the SEC, Alabama, roll tide, had a bye week, while the rest of the SEC teams in the top 10 ended up battling for a spot. So first we had Steve Spurrier's Gamecocks fend off the Georgia Bulldogs, and they held them to only 7 points, really impressive. Go Steve Spurrier. My only question is if they have anybody after Lattimore, because he's gotten hurt before, and I would love to know if you have any depth at your running back position.
I don't think he's worried about it. All he's excited about is they've won 3 years in a row.
Right? Champs, Florida Gators, obviously ending up beating LSU in the Swamp. Home field advantage for both of these teams. I definitely think it's really easy to win when you've got that backing and you're at home and maybe the underdog a little bit.
It was nice for Florida too, because this is the first time in 2 years they've beat a ranked team. So
exactly.
They're a little excited right now.
Yeah, and they still are bringing Tim Tebow up. They're like, please throw his tweet up online. Just like let me see your Tebow. That's how it's gonna happen.
We can do it.
All right. We have the other teams in the SEC. Mississippi State actually is undefeated right now and making kind of a statement. So they're playing Tennessee next week, and they could run into Tuscaloosa undefeated for our homecoming game, which would be an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
I would kind of like to see that.
I'd be really disappointed if they didn't go into that game undefeated.
And just to rub it in, Auburn got beat by Arkansas, the hog-faced, redheaded stepchild of the SEC right now, who hasn't really won anything. So, way to go, Auburn. Hey, you look like sorry.
Alright, so starting out the Big 12, we had the West Virginia and Texas game. This was number 8 versus number 11. Final score was 48-45. And can I just say, this game was amazing. I was literally on the edge of my seat. It was by far the best game in the Big 12 so far this season. And it was just great offense, great defense, even though the score was really high. Great game by both teams. Geno Smith is currently over 900 yards in passing. West Virginia had over 800 yards on their offense. Texas had some really good plays where, it was just really impressive. So kudos to you both. I wish there could have been a tie, but I did call the West Virginia win. So just wanted to point that out.
This was actually a very evenly matched game, and I think one of the most evenly matched games we've seen so far this year.
Especially in the Big 12. The other game I would like to call out is Iowa State beating the Horned Frogs. I had a feeling this would happen, but I didn't want to jinx myself. I really loved our third quarter trick play, so kudos Josh Lentz. And it was Barnett's first time playing for the season as well since last season, so great job Barnett. Way to pull out the Wind Cyclones, and I'm really nervous about K-State next week, so please keep it together so your biggest fan doesn't have any more panic attacks. And the only other game out of the Big 12 this season that I really wanted to call out, just so you guys realize how good I am at calling this is the 40-point spread exactly, 40 points exactly from K-State and Kansas. So, if you want to go start betting in Vegas, let me know. I'll tell you what to bet, and you will probably win.
Okay, I am not telling you to go vote in Vegas and blow your money, okay?
This is coming from the non-gambler.
Yeah, if she doesn't gamble, I do. This was very lucky. If she does it 2 weeks in a row, start listening.
Yeah.
Alright, so moving out west to the Pac-12, on Thursday night, we had USC having a little scare right off the bat with Utah, and then luckily someone realized that Utah just sucks, so they actually pulled it out. Trojans do not do well when they leave downtown LA.
What?
They don't do well when they leave the hood at all. They go play in real weather. They leave this perfect 80-degree day, and we're losing, guys, and it's a team that doesn't even deserve. Okay, all right. So anyway,
you're terrible. That's
yeah.
what we're telling you.
I'm just saying, on the road, you were very suspect. So then we have the Oregon blowout of the week. They stopped Washington, but they still allowed 21 points.
Yes.
I mean, really? Really?
But that's their defense. Shout out to the Oregon quarterback.
Yeah.
Major quacks to you, sir. Good job.
Lots of quacks. But next week they do have the Sun Devils at ASU, and well, the ASU Sun Devils, they have the best record in the Pac-12 South right now. So
could be a good game.
Yeah, I think a lot closer than people may expect. Next week, Stanford plays Notre Dame, and I'm not quite sure College Game Day is going to go to Notre Dame. Yeah.
To the land of the dead grass field.
Yeah.
No one wants to go there.
To Ireland in America. And we would really love to tell you about the rest of the Pac-12, but honestly, we don't see them being relevant in the next few weeks.
Moving on to the Big Ten, this week we had Nebraska and Ohio State. Now, obviously, Ohio State pulled out the win. In the beginning, it didn't look like there was going to be that big of a spread, but they really kicked it into gear. Yay. Why? It's pointless.
You can't go to a bowl. I don't know why you're doing this, but you're making a statement anyway.
Just stop playing. You can do a whole lot of nothing with your win at the end of the season, and I would personally like to give you the award already this season for being like the new Trojan this year.
Yeah, you're just knifing everybody in the back on your way out the door, but you're just like, screw it, if I can't go anywhere,
no one else can.
Yeah, alright, cool. Oh wait, Penn State knocked off Northwestern.
I know, but
they can't. It's the battle of the ineligibles in the Big Ten right now. But no, way to go, Penn State. Actually, I love the loyalty and I love them getting a win, especially over somebody like Northwestern.
Yes. And Sparty gave us a slight heart attack for a little while, but he also pulled out the win against Indiana. And Sparty, clean it up, buddy. No. Indiana, come on. That's all I have to say about the Big Ten. I'm hoping next week is much better.
Over into the Athletically Challenged Conference, the ACC. So interconference playing is happening now amongst all of the conferences, but especially in the ACC. It's kind of like inbreeding and has these same disastrous results of just nobody winning. So guess who has the best record in the ACC after we talk about Clemson and FSU? Guess. It's not Bontac. It's not Georgia Tech.
Rutgers?
It's Duke.
Oh, God!
I'm serious, I swear to God. Yeah, basically Duke hasn't played anybody, and we're not talking about basketball yet.
So, unfortunately, Florida State now is starting to look like they did last year.
Yeah, so basically every FSU fan starts October by saying, we're going to be in the national championship game, and then they end October
Week 2, they're like
they're trying to stab themselves.
They're walking away because they're so disappointed.
You probably heard that FSU fell to North Carolina State. If you're wondering where this school is, congrats, me too. But slow and steady wins the race. North Carolina State, their defense just chugged along and held them, and then finally it got to the end of 16-10. FSU was only up by 6. And a very, very questionable call, by the way.
What do we have? The 10 reps in? Did the NFL get transferred to college?
I don't even know what the hell happened. But in the very end, they ended up going in for a touchdown and the kicking to win the game in the last 15 seconds. Crazy, amazing win. Congrats to their 5th-year quarterback senior, Glennon.
Is he 28?
He's old. So, thanks. It sucks to be a Seminoles fan. So, then we move over to the top 25 because the AP poll rankings are out. So, the biggest question is, can particularly the teams in the top 10, outplay and outlast each other? Because now we're going to see some top 10 matchups before we even get to bowl games, before we even get to...
In the current top 5 this week, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th teams all lost. So it's within the next 2 weeks, it's just a crapshoot of mixing around who is ranked where, just based on who can hold out the longest.
Yeah, and I would say that if you're at 9th, 10th, 11th, somewhere around there, you're kind of sitting pretty. As long as you win your game, you have a very good chance to rise.
Yeah.
So, let's see. In the next 2 weeks, we have 3 and 4, South Carolina and Florida playing each other, and then West Virginia 5, K-State 6 playing each other as well. So 3 through 6 is going to see a total revamp.
Yes. It's literally going to do a 360, and half of them will probably move below the top 10, the other half will stay, and then we're going to see probably 4 new teams within the top 10 that now have a shot at the national championship game that probably didn't previously.
Texas fell to 15th in the AP poll, and I think that that's just brutally underranked considering how they did yesterday.
I don't agree really with majority of the AP polls. Like we were talking about earlier tonight, we agree a little bit more with the coaches polls, which I might add, Iowa State, you're now at number 25 in the coaches polls. Way to go. But yeah, it doesn't make sense. There's teams that they definitely favor and that drop when they shouldn't and then rise even further when they shouldn't. So
yes.
I guess I'm telling you to clean up your act too, AP polls.
Yeah, we just can't wait for the BCS to come back because that factors in all kinds of things that we like to talk about. So moving ahead to next week's game.
Yeah. One that I'm excited for, / having a heart attack, like I already said, it's Kansas State and Iowa State. We're kind of not really known as the upset team anymore. We're kind of just starting to finally be noticed as a team that's pretty good. So let's hope that goes well. The other game that I'm really excited for is Texas and Oklahoma. So that's going to be a really great showdown within the Big 12 next week.
The Red River rivalry, or shootout if you're a Texas person. Yeah, we see this actually going very much so in Texas's favor. And we just got a thumbs up from our Talk Sports Drink Beer Texas alumni.
And I think this is the first time that I'm giving you
this
it
right.
single.
She's doing it right.
Not only am I doing it right, but I am proud to say go Texas for this game.
LSU versus South Carolina. South Carolina, you have some serious ground to hold with this game, and I'm like not you with this. You have to win, otherwise you are done. Because Florida or Georgia will come back and win the East because they don't have to play all of the teams that LSU does or South Carolina does. And then we have our last game. My house is divided because Mizzou plays Alabama. My dad got to go to Mizzou for free, but his money and his daughter went to Alabama, so he's probably going to root for the school that he paid for. So roll Tide all day.
Thank you guys for watching our show this week. Please check out our friends at Talk Sports Drink Beer. We can't thank them enough for helping us out every week of our show. Keep up with us on Facebook at Watch Their Placements, as well as keep following us on Twitter at Come Get Benched. We have a lot of very exciting news coming up for you in the next week to 2 weeks that we're very excited to tell you about.
Yes.
So keep watching our individual videos and stay in touch with us.
Roll Tide.
Go State.